Yeah, yeah. So, hello everybody. So this is the first meeting that me and Carlos are having. Carlos is you're the owner or founder, right, of Burning Games. Is this correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
that is
cool.
correct.
And I worked with them before, did some card illustrations. One of our students was kind of flagshipped a lot of their designs, which was really cool. For one of their games that they already published and successfully launched on a Kickstarter, which is great. And then they reached out to me recently because they thought it might be a good idea to collaborate and work on their next game, which is Corball, right?
Yeah,
And so basically, I'm going to flagship all the art in this game and design pretty much everything, or at least most of it, with
okay,
them. And they talked to me about this, and we came to a really cool idea of documenting this. They said that it was like Carlos and the team said it was cool for me to record, document all the stuff. And these videos right here, I'm going to put out for free and for people to see just our meetings and just how they go. Yeah. So I won't explain myself every video. Like this will be the first one, but I will do a little introduction every time, I guess, in the beginning. But my point is that I think this is a great way to educate, and then also what will happen is that I'll make Gumroad videos of me working on the actual assignments or working on the actual work for them, which will be recorded separately, and then those will be available for people to purchase. And that way, it keeps the cost for the guys on Burning Games really low because I don't need to necessarily ask for what I would normally ask for my day rates. And at the same time work my hardest to try to do really good work. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of a win-win. And this is something that I've refocused a lot of my time on is educating. I want to educate people, and I thought this was a great opportunity. The guys at Burning Games are really cool. They're really been fantastic people to work with in the past, and they're pretty open about what their development process is too. So it's like it's not really it was kind of like a win-win. We just kind of like sat down and we agreed that it would be a really good situation. And what else is really cool is that I'm going to be helping them develop the game in terms of the game design. Like you guys are going to send us like prototypes, and we're just going to make them here at the office, and then just play them and tell you if your game sucks. But they will focus on the game design aspect of it. I'll be focusing on the art aspect of it, of course. But you guys might get a glimpse of both. And so yeah, we just wanted to document it and see how it goes. So we're going to document the meetings pretty much when I am done with my work and show it to them, or when they're going to give me new characters to work on, or etc. Whatever they need me to work on next. This is going to be pretty much standard. Everything that Carlos is going to say to me is what he would say even if he wasn't being recorded. I made sure that he did that, right, Carlos? I said, you don't have to set up a script or nothing. It's like just treat this as like a real opportunity, real job. So go for it. Let's get started. Do you have anything you want to talk about too? Introduce yourself a little bit if you want.
well, just to start with, as you said, I am Carlos. I am from Burning Games. We are actually a UK company, although I'm from Spain.
Yeah.
So I apologize if at any time I don't make any sense or my accent is too strong. I will try my best to sound okay. So yeah, we're very happy about doing this project with Anthony Jones because, well, he's. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say swear words, am I? Uh,
If you let one slip by, it's fine. I
okay,
won't edit
so
it. I won't be like, dude. We won't have those, but it's no big
so
deal.
yeah, he's Anthony motherfucking Jones. So we are very happy with that. And we are also very happy about showing all the process and how the art is done and how we deal with artists. Because when we started out, we didn't know how to do this, and many of the artists we worked with, they were working with us for the very first time. It was for many of them, it was the first time they were getting paid for a
Yeah.
job, and most of them were actually Anthony Jones students. So I think it is very helpful to see how these things work, how the process behind the core time kind of works. So I hope it is very useful for you guys.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. So we can just go right into the meeting. You can give me the assignment. I have written on the I have on the left. You can't see this, Carlos, but on the side I have like a little notepad, so you guys can see me typing. And if you guys hear me typing, I apologize too. And also, I have students coming in and out. So if you hear like chatter, it's just my students. So just ignore them. And this right here, this person right here. Don't worry about that guy. And then this person right here is one of my students too. Turn around. Turn around. um, but anyways, yeah, go ahead. Let's get into this.
Okay, so what is Corball? Corball is basically a miniatures game we want to make uh, because it is a sports game based in the universe of our previous game, which was on a role-playing game called Faith. So Corball basically is the ball game of the Corball, who are one of the alien species who rule the universe of Faith. And Corball is started as a kind of a small part of the universe of Faith, but the idea seemed so cool to us that we said we have to make a game only about Corball because it's going to be a lot of fun. So Corball is basically a crazy team of people, well, actually two teams of people, who throw themselves at supremely fast speed uh, through an asteroid field, and they fight for the control of a ball. So it is rather hardcore. It's very fast. People sometimes die against asteroids, and all kinds of crazy things happen. And we thought we had to make a game about this, and here we are. So if you
Mm-hmm.
can see my screen,
I do.
that piece of art there was done by Lucasin, who was one of the artists who worked in Faith. So this was the very first concept of how Corball would be like. So as I said, it's a miniatures game. So basically the idea is that you will have tiny miniatures, 32 millimeters for people who are used to miniatures. They are the standard size. And you would play on this transparent board, and underneath you will have the map tiles. So every round the map changes, which is pretty cool because it completely changes the shape of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Different asteroids, different rail guns, and all kind of obstacles will change. So you will have to adapt to do that. So what else have I got? I did a little brief in each of the species of the game. These
Cool.
illustrations, again, are from Faith, the original game.
And you're gonna give me access to this later, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So basically, well, Anthony Jones was pretty clear to me. Don't write a lot of text. Just give me
Yeah.
a little bit of information. And I think that's how most artists want to work with.
Yeah, I
Use
can.
a
I
little
can.
bit of
Yeah, I can elaborate on that for you. Which I really appreciate you. So we had a meeting before this meeting talking about like the logistics of what these meetings could be and what they will be, just so they know that they're being recorded and they know what that people are going to see this. One of the biggest things that they were asking me was like, what is it? What's going to be easy for you for designing? Because what I think I like all about Burning Games is that I think you guys told me before, right? Like you had an experience where you guys were so like picky about every little thing, or too critical of the artist, and what that ended up happening, or what that did, was that it prevented you guys getting a lot of work, and you guys needed a lot of artwork really quickly. And I think when you guys discovered that, and you started saying, you know what, the artists are artists, they know what they're doing. Like we're hiring them because we saw their work, we like their work, we want them to do it for us. I think you did that with Milan, right? Like Milan's like, just tell me what you need, and I'll do it. And then once you guys did that, you guys got a lot of artwork really quickly and really done elegantly, which is really cool to see and really cool to hear. And so then they did the same with me. They were kind of like preemptively trying to prevent a lot of like back and forth, like try to get as best work as possible sooner than later. And so they asked like, hey, what do you prefer? And I told them it's really simple for me. Like, don't write like 3 pages of text I think what's easiest for me is few like really good, like right now I can already see like you right hyper technological technology enhanced bodies. Some of them are almost cyborgs, vein. These are very useful words. But then on top of that is images that are shown to me. I think some of these are done by Milan, which are making it even easier for me to be able to understand what you guys need. You know what I mean? So this is great. This is already really useful. That's why I'm not writing any more notes because I just can like you have all of it right there for me. That's why I asked you're gonna give me this later. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, in my experience, the best results I always get them through hiring an artist whose own style, the style they like to do, fits whatever I want to do, and then giving that people a lot of freedom, making sure we're in the same page, of course, but then that guy is an artist, that guy knows what he's doing. You cannot micromanage every single aspect, and I think it's wrong to try to do so, because the artist is who's going to be painting every single detail. So he knows what is needed at each point. So yeah, I think that's the best approach in my opinion, and it has given me the best results. And also artists to whom I give more freedom usually end up spending even more time doing the artwork because they are enjoying what they're doing, and they end up giving me a better illustration.
Totally. Cool.
Yeah. So here we have the two main species, a little bit of text about them, and a few images on how they look. Of course, in Corball, these guys will have full suits because they are flying in space.
Mm-hmm.
They are flying where there is no air, no gravity, nothing. But this gives you a little bit of an idea of how they look in their regular lives, let's say, the shape of their bodies and things like that. So there are four species who play Corball, and these are the other two.
Cool.
Yep. And then I also found a few references because this is how people look. This is how the characters look, but it's not how Corball players would look.
So it's like more for like proportions, right? It's like more of like their bodies.
Yes, exactly. This is
Yeah.
like how do they look like? What is the type of body
Got it.
Rag has? What type of legs do they have? So, for example, you can see here the Corvo. I don't know how to call this type of legs. The ones that bend
Hinged
the other
legs, I think.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
get
then
it.
you can see here that the Ithcal have a tail. These guys have these tentacles coming out from their heads. Humans, well, they're humans. And these guys are like bulky and kind of, I don't know, they look more primitive probably, right?
Yeah.
And then for references for the actual art of Corball,
Uh-huh.
I have this. So I have this illustration was the one you made for one of the two you made for Faith, and I
Cool.
still think this suit is super cool, and we can just keep working from that.
Okay.
Then I found a few helmets that I like. I think this one is actually yours.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. And then I found this illustration. Let me try to. Hmm, it's a bit pixelated. Anyways, I really liked the dynamism. How do you say this?
Yeah, dynamic, like the
Like,
dynamicness
yeah,
of it.
they feel
Got it.
like they're moving, they're doing
Yeah,
things.
I like it too.
Uh,
It's really cool. Do you know the name of the
yeah.
artist who did this? Or
Uh, he has a strange name. He's a. Do you want me to look it up?
no, it's okay. You can look it up after and just let me know.
Okay, but he has a strange name. He does very cool illustrations about kind of a dystopian kind of world in which there are people in favelas with cybernetic. I will send you a link.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I really like the how dynamic the the illustrations feel. And there's a little
Got it.
bit for what we're trying to do with Corball. Usually, miniatures have to be standing, they have to be in a more or less static pose.
Yeah,
But
sure.
Corball is about movement. It's about having miniatures who are actually flying, so they can be upside down, they can be sideways, turning, twisting.
Yeah,
So I think that it's a very good opportunity to make stuff that is a little bit unique because you don't usually see that in miniatures.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is cool. This is a good reference.
Yeah. And then the last thing I have here is basically a little bit of text about five concept art. You asked
Okay.
me to have four or five.
Yeah, yeah. So we can get some ideas going.
Yeah. So basically, there's five of them. You have the name there,
Okay.
the species, the gender, yeah, and then a couple of words trying to describe them. And then I draw a little bit of a tiny bit of a story just to kind of maybe help you get into the mood of the game and how things work, right?
Yeah, this is useful. Really useful.
Yeah. So I tried to use um, American football terms for the positions of the players.
Okay.
American football doesn't play exactly like Corball.
Okay.
Corball is,
What's the sport that it's closest to?
yeah, what is the sport that is closest to? Well, it's hard to say because basically both teams are going in the same direction at very high speeds and
Okay.
trying to take the ball off from each other. And basically the idea is that if they keep the ball for a minute, they get a point.
I see.
So it's not really like
It's kind of
anything.
like rugby, except instead of
Mm,
going in, instead of because it's like American football where they have like two sides of the field that they have to get to, right? But
yeah,
it is like they having possession allows you to get more momentum in the field, right? But in your case, you're right. Like this isn't necessary. I can't think of anything either entirely. But I get it. Like there would be positions potentially, right? That would help.
yeah, and you will have players who tackle other players, players who
Got it.
steal the ball from other ones, players who are very good at maybe defending the ball but not very good at passing it to others.
Got it.
So I used here a little bit of text to describe those
Okay.
the position that fitted the best, in my
Yeah. Cool.
opinion. Although I am not an expert in American football.
Don't worry, I'm not either.
To be honest, I just had to go that.
Okay. So these are like the so you gave me like five characters in which they're pretty different from one another, which will help potentially give us a good range of characters. I don't
Yeah.
see much of a defensive character in here, like a character, let's say, that just holds the ball. Is that true? Am I wrong?
There is the characters who try to like they defend the team.
Uh
So
huh.
we have two. The one Gridley and Tempo.
Yeah, yeah. Go on.
Then the catcher is kind of a guy who tries to steal the ball,
Got it.
and the receiver is who receives the ball and tries to keep it under control.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, and the ambusher, that's a completely different kind of character, but basically because they're flying through the asteroid field,
Got it.
they're like you have to look up, down, in all directions. It's kind of crazy.
Sure.
So she has thermal camouflage, and she tries to sneak into whatever position is needed.
Okay, cool. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean this is pretty straightforward. You did you asked me what would be useful, and you did exactly that. This is like really easy. My notes are very light, actually. Um, so I mean, to me, this is more than enough information to get started. So I think what I can do for you guys is have something by no later than Tuesday, around the same time. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll just send that stuff to you guys, and then maybe we can have another meeting. I can pitch you guys my ideas for the thumbnails and stuff. You know,
Yep.
and then after that, you guys think it over, and then maybe on Wednesday we can have another meeting and talk it over when you guys have like a day to
Okay.
think about it. Yeah. Um,
Uh, one proposition. I don't know, but would we be taking questions from the people who see the videos? I'm okay with answering
oh
questions if
yeah.
people have
You know
them
what?
or
That's
anything
great,
like
dude.
that.
If that's the case, what I can do is I can set up on the page because I'm gonna put this all on my website. I can
Mhm.
set it up in a way where people can submit questions, and then what I can do is I can go review them and then bring it
Yeah.
up to you
So
guys.
if they have any questions for us
Yeah.
as a company who hire artists,
Do you want
the
me
things
to?
we look for,
Yeah.
and things like that, I would
Sorry
be
to
happy to.
interrupt. Can you put your email address again, and I can just throw it up right now for them to see.
Yeah.
So for anyone who is curious, you can
Mhm.
either email me directly at my website, which is rolluppencil.info.com, or you can actually email Carlos himself, which is because he's awesome. Let's do this. And so I'm gonna put it in my notepad where you guys can see. It's right here. burning.games.uk@gmail.com. Right.
Yeah. Um,
And what I
I
can do
also.
for future videos is I can actually put your guys' emails like floating. Like right now, like above us, you can't see, but above us is like my website and stuff. So I can actually make a more specific like thing. So we don't have to talk about this every time. It'll just be up there, and I can just make a note about it.
Okay.
There's another email that you just sent me, just that one. So yeah, I mean, of course, I think people will be more than happy. Um, but I mean, I'm good to go. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Not really.
Okay.
In
Yeah, I don't expect these meetings to be more than like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If then, I mean, I think we'll get faster. I think this will obviously a little longer because it's the first one. Second one might be longer too. But I imagine moving forward, like the way that I see how this will go is just like as normal. I'll just as soon as I'm done, I'll send it to you guys. Um, Either we have a meeting where I can talk about it. If not, that's fine. But we will still have a meeting talking over the artwork that I've done for you guys. You know, and
Oh,
then
yeah. There's. Sorry, I just looked at my notes. There is something that is important I have to mention.
okay, yeah, of course, go
Uh,
for it.
so basically, uh, we haven't said this, I think, but we're doing two things. We're
Hmm.
doing concept art for each character,
Hmm.
and then we are doing the 3D of that character, right?
Yeah, totally.
So for the concept art, it will be part of the game. It will come in cards.
Yeah.
So you will have a card with all the values that link to the miniature in the game, right? So because it comes in cards, um, it is important for us that when you create the concept art, you consider the size of a card. So basically, the cards we're going to be using are tarot size cards.
Like tarot cards?
Yeah,
Okay, can you tell me the actual proportions of the cards if you have that information?
yeah. So
And then that way
uh,
I'll just make a template and design within that template.
so for every centimeter,
You can tell me in
um,
centimeters, whatever you know. I can convert it
so
or I can
basically
use
for
that.
every I can tell you actually the size of a tarot card. I think.
So it's
Let me
exactly
look.
the size of a tarot card?
Tarot. So actually, there are several tarot size cards,
Okay.
uh, but the one we will be using is actually the ones from these guys. So
Okay, I can write that down. Hold on, give me a second.
yeah, let me.
2.75
Yeah,
by 4.75, and this is like portrait, right?
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not portrait. It's
Is it land?
standing
It's lands.
like this.
Yeah, that's portrait.
I yeah, sure. Sorry.
Landscape is where it's like our
Yeah, yeah,
webcam.
yeah.
Yeah,
I just had a little bit of a
yeah. Okay, so I got it.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so that is important. So we can get all of the art in there, right?
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Luckily for you guys, I draw everything in portrait, so that shouldn't be a problem.
yeah. Okay, but remember, these guys are flying, so they don't have to be standing. They have to be
Got it. They're in
kind of
zero. They're in 0 G, flying into asteroids. Got it.
yes.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's pretty much it for me then. I got to make sure that it's that. And I think what now, like, I think we'll just design kind of the cards, because like once we design what, like, hey, we like this guy, then I'll just paint that guy up better, and then what I can do on the side is maybe design the miniature version of it, because I'm gonna do that too, guys. So I'm gonna be designing that as well. So then when that happens, then that'll be a challenge for me because that's something that I haven't done. But you guys are more than happy to work with me on that, which is cool. And so but the concept, at least the cards, will be in place. We can be confident of that. All right, cool. So I'm expecting sometime Tuesday, and then that way maybe we can either talk on Tuesday or we can talk on Wednesday, whatever is easier for you guys. Okay. So let's just like schedule it for Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll have either a meeting around the same time, like 12 or 1. Okay.
Perfect. And
Sounds
if you
good.
need me in the meantime, just write to me.
Okay, yeah, of course. So I have Carlos on Skype, so we talk on Skype often, which I think is a really good tactic in general. If you guys have an opportunity to talk to especially if you guys are overseas, like your employers overseas, like Carlos is, it's good to have some way to communicate with them, whether that's Facebook, Skype, Gmail. I use whatever is convenient for the people. And right now we've been using Skype and it's working fine.
I
So
don't think you can use Facebook anymore. You cannot have more friends.
I can write you on Facebook, but I won't respond to you as fast as I will on Skype. Skype, I don't get as many comments, so it's very
Yeah, I
easy.
tried. I
It's
tried to
more
add you on Facebook as a friend, and Facebook said to me he has too many friends. He cannot take any more
no.
friend requests.
It really said that we don't have any more room for Carlos's. So I already rent my quota for Carlos. But all
Yeah.
right, that's pretty much it, man. Thanks again, Carlos. And thanks for everybody who's watching. I hope you guys enjoy this journey that we're gonna have together. You guys will be able to see step by step how this will come together from a real practical sensibility, not hypothetical. This is like a real project that Carlos is actually trying to make with his team, and I'm gonna try to help them make as well. So it's gonna be fun. All right, thanks again, Carlos. Yeah, thanks for being
Yeah.
supportive and being a good sport about all this.
Well, I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to start seeing stuff.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, I have a talk this weekend. That's probably why I need that extra day. But
Mhm.
but anyways, cool. All right, that's it.